In the world of dancehall, few stories are as surprising and inspiring as that of Lieutenant Stitchie. Once known for electrifying stages and delivering energetic hits that defined an era, he later made a life-changing decision that shocked many fans, stepping away from fame to become a pastor. His journey is not just about music, but about transformation, purpose, and faith. How does a dancehall star take such a dramatic turn in life? Every powerful life story has a beginning that feels almost ordinary. For Lieutenant Stitchie, that beginning was in Spanish Town, Jamaica, where Cleveland Lying was born on September 29, 1965. Raised in a stable middle-class household, his early years were shaped by discipline and education. Before music became his career, he actually followed a completely different path. Cleveland studied at G.C. Foster College of Physical Education and Sport, and later worked as a high school teacher in Spanish Town. In the classroom, he taught biology, physical education, English, and West Indian history. His confident speaking style and clear communication made him stand out, earning him the nickname, the Governor. Ironically, that same confident delivery would later become one of his biggest strengths as a dancehall performer. But even while teaching, music was slowly becoming part of his life. During the late 1970s and early 1980s, he began performing on local sound systems around Spanish Town, experimenting with stage names like Ranking Citrus, before eventually adopting the name Lieutenant Stitchie. His performances quickly gained attention because of his witty storytelling, clever wordplay, and unusually thoughtful lyrics for the dancehall scene at the time. By the late 1980s, his career started gaining real momentum. In 1987, he released his debut album, Great Ambition with King Jammy, which helped introduce him to a wider audience. Not long after, he made history by signing with Atlantic Records, becoming one of the first dancehall artists to secure a deal with a major international label. Albums such as The Governor, 1989, Wild Jamaican Romances, 1991, and Rude Boy, 1993, expanded his reach, while songs like Dress to Impress even appeared on the Billboard charts, a rare achievement for dancehall artists at the time. Throughout the early 1990s, he remained active, releasing dozens of singles, collaborating with artists like Mad Cobra and Beanie Man, and touring internationally. By the mid-1990s, he had already built a solid reputation as one of Jamaica's most articulate and entertaining DJs. Then came the moment that changed everything. In August 1997, while traveling to perform at Reggae Sumfest, Stitchie survived a serious car accident. The experience forced him into deep reflection about his life and purpose. Combined with the emotional impact of losing his mother 2 years earlier, the accident became a turning point that redirected his entire career. Instead of continuing on the same path, he chose a new direction: faith. Stitchie embraced Christianity and began focusing on gospel reggae, gradually dropping the lieutenant title as his music shifted toward messages of spirituality and transformation. From the late 1990s into the 2000s, his career entered a new phase centered on inspiration and ministry. Albums such as Raw Episode, 1999, Ghetto Soldier, 2000, and Kingdom Ambassador, 2004, reflected this change, blending reggae rhythms with powerful messages about faith and personal growth. Later projects like Real Life Story, 2007, and Serious Message, 2010, continued building his reputation as one of the pioneers of gospel reggae music. Even decades into his career, he continued creating. In 2019, he released Masterclass, his 22nd studio album produced largely by Manu Digital, bringing together modern reggae sounds with spiritual storytelling and reaching audiences particularly in Europe. Over the years, he also received recognition from organizations such as Jaria and the International Reggae and World Music Awards, honoring his lasting influence on reggae and dancehall culture. In the 2000s, however, his public activity slowed due to serious health challenges, including a brain hemorrhage that limited new recordings and performances. Even so, Stitchie continues to focus on pastoral work and encouraging communities through faith, proving that his impact goes far beyond music alone. And after such a remarkable journey, from teacher to dancehall star to gospel messenger, one question naturally comes to mind. Where does Lieutenant Stitchie live today? And what does his life look like away from the stage? Long-term care and rehabilitation facility. As of early 2026, the reggae pioneer is currently living in a long-term care and rehabilitation facility in Jamaica, where he has been receiving specialized medical support since late 2024 after suffering a severe brain hemorrhage. While the exact name of the rehabilitation center has not been publicly disclosed, mainly to protect his privacy, the purpose of the facility is clear: to help him regain strength, stability, and communication step by step. From what supporters and occasional updates suggest, his days are now centered around recovery. The facility provides post-acute rehabilitation care, including physiotherapy sessions, speech therapy, and daily mobility exercises designed to rebuild physical strength. Even small changes, such as improved stability while using a wheelchair or responding vocally to conversations, have been described by close supporters as meaningful signs of progress. For someone who once commanded festival stages, these steps may seem modest, but in the world of recovery, they represent real victories. Before these recent health challenges, Stitchie had lived a relatively stable life between Jamaica and Canada. For many years, he held Canadian citizenship and spent significant time there, balancing ministry work, music projects, and family life. At the same time, he maintained strong ties to his roots in Spanish Town, Jamaica, where he also had a home and remained closely connected to the community that shaped his early career. And after decades of music, ministry, and influence, many people naturally begin to wonder about another aspect of his life. How did Lieutenant Stitchie build his financial legacy? And what are the main sources behind his income and net worth? Income and net worth. After more than 4 decades connected to Jamaica's music culture, Lieutenant Stitchie has built a modest but meaningful financial legacy. As of early 2026, his estimated net worth is believed to be under $700,000, based on available public information, online presence, and the long timeline of his career. The foundation of his income naturally came from music recordings and albums. During the late 1980s and early 1990s, he released several projects under major labels, such as Atlantic Records, including albums like The Governor and Rude Boy. Over the years, he has released more than 15 albums, later continuing his catalog with gospel projects such as Masterclass in 2019. Today, however, income from streaming and recorded music is relatively small. Because of reduced activity and the age of many recordings, current annual earnings from music royalties are estimated to be modest, often only a few $1,000s spread across older tracks and catalog plays. Another major source of income throughout his career came from live performances and touring. During the peak of his dancehall years in the late 1980s and 1990s, Stitchie performed frequently at concerts, reggae festivals, and sound system events around the world, including appearances linked to Reggae Sumfest and other international stages. Even after his conversion to gospel music in 1997, he continued performing at faith-based festivals and cultural events. At his level, performance fees were often estimated in the $5,000 to $15,000 range per show, depending on the event size and location. In recent years, however, these appearances have slowed significantly due to his health challenges. When people speak about the life of Lieutenant Stitchie, they often mention the music, the transformation, and the faith. But another important part of his story is the quiet humanitarian work he has supported since turning his life toward ministry in the late 1990s. Philanthropy. One of the key ways he has contributed is through humanitarian and educational initiatives connected to Friends for Life outreach. Since around 2005, he has participated in programs connected to the organization's training and education division, using his platform to support initiatives focused on education, youth development, and spiritual guidance. His involvement in these efforts reflects the broader mission of his pastoral work and aligns with the honorary doctorate in international humanitarian law he received in 2021. In recent years, however, the conversation around charity has taken on a different meaning. Following the severe brain hemorrhage he suffered in 2024, much of the charitable attention surrounding Stitchie has come from the incredible support he has received from the reggae and gospel music community. Rather than running large charitable foundations himself, the veteran artist has become the recipient of collective support from friends, fellow musicians, and fans who recognize his influence and legacy. One notable example came from the Bounty Foundation, founded by dancehall icon Bounty Killer. In October 2024, the foundation, working alongside reggae superstar Shaggy, donated $10,000 to help cover some of Stitchie's medical and rehabilitation expenses. The foundation has long supported Jamaican artists facing health challenges, and their contribution highlighted the respect Stitchie holds within the industry. Another important effort came from within his own family. In September 2024, his wife, Sophia Lang, launched a GoFundMe campaign titled Support Stitchie's Rehabilitation Journey. The campaign aimed to raise approximately $100,000 to assist with long-term care, therapy, and rehabilitation following his medical emergency. Support poured in from fans and members of the music community who wanted to help ensure that the legendary artist received the care he needed. Perhaps the most powerful display of solidarity came through benefit events organized by fellow musicians. One of the most widely discussed was the Hearts and Hands charity concert, organized by members of Jamaica's gospel music community in October 2024. The event brought together artists, pastors, DJs, and fans in a shared effort to support Stitchie's recovery. Reports indicated that the event and related donations helped raise significant funds. Figures as high as $600,000 were mentioned across various reports, demonstrating just how deeply respected he remains across multiple music communities. Individual artists also stepped forward. Reggae singer Richie Stephens, for example, contributed a personal donation of $5,000, while other fundraising gatherings continued into late 2025, bringing together both gospel and secular musicians. These gestures reveal something powerful. Beyond the stage and beyond the music industry, Stitchie is seen as a mentor, a pioneer, and a spiritual voice whose influence spans generations. In many ways, this wave of support reflects the same values he spent decades promoting: faith, community, and compassion. The love coming from the reggae and gospel worlds shows that his legacy goes far beyond hit songs or albums. It lives in the people he inspired. Personal life. Today, at around 60 years old, the life of Lieutenant Stitchie has entered a quieter and more challenging chapter. Standing firmly beside him through this difficult time is his wife, Sophia Lang, who has become both his primary caregiver and his voice to the outside world. Beyond the health challenges, Stitchie remains a devoted family man. He is reported to be the father of 3 children, and family continues to play an important role in keeping his spirit strong during recovery. Friends and supporters often describe him as someone who draws strength from both his loved ones and his deep spiritual beliefs. Before the health crisis, his everyday life was much simpler and closely connected to music and faith. Unlike many entertainers who thrive on constant attention, he has long described himself as someone who appreciates solitude. In his own words, he has always felt different and special, a mindset that helped shape his transition from dancehall star to gospel messenger. Even today, that same sense of faith and personal reflection remains central to his life. Supporters continue to hope that with time, care, and determination, Lieutenant Stitchie will keep moving forward, one step at a time. Thank you for watching and for being part of this community. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. And as always, thank you for staying with us.